Here's how we can splice up our 5 chord in any 2-5-1. My example today is going to be the key of C. So my 2 is going to be D minor, my 5 is going to be G7, my 1 is going to be G major 7. What we're going to be doing is over our G7, we're going to be applying a flat 9 sound with a diminished arpeggio. Okay? Now I have a whole nother lesson video about the diminished chords and the diminished arpeggio. So if you're not familiar with it, watch that, although I do have a diagram. And to me, the easiest way to think about this is how do we connect it to our 5 chord that we're currently playing. Alright? Basically, the diminished arpeggio can start a half step above the root note. So wherever we are, a half step above the root note. Also on the 3rd, and then also on the 5th, and then also finally on the 7th. So it kind of depends on which chord tone we're nearest when we're kind of getting to that 5 chord. So for example, if I'm going to hit 4 D minor 7 arpeggio notes, next comes the G7. Here I am on the C note on my 3rd string. I'm 1 half step away from my B, or I'm a whole step away from my D. And from there is where we're going to start anchoring our diminished arpeggio. So if I'm right there again, there's 4 notes of my diminished arpeggio, and we can resolve that to a chord tone of our C major 7th. Whenever we step out for the 5 chord, it's important to resolve back to a chord tone of our C major 7th chord. Alright? Now taking that same example again, alright, ending on the root there isn't ideal, but there we are. 4 notes of the D minor arpeggio. Now I'm going up to the 5th. Then we can resolve it however we wish to, up to that C major 7th. The biggest thing is where we start the diminished arpeggio is what's going to help out the most. So that's a half step above the root note. This is for any 2-5-1. On the 3rd of the 5, on the 5th, and on the 7th of our 5 chord is where we can start anchoring our diminished arpeggio.